Dennis.
Yes.
Hi, Dennis. Thanks for bringing your 56 down for us to sell. And I wanted to get some information from you on the car in case there's someone interested in it. Dennis, how long have you owned the car?
27 years.
You've owned this car 27 years. When you bought the car, was it painted or is that something you did?
The car was painted about 3 years before I bought it. And it was all original, the 265 and original brakes, original everything, and a good running car. And we drove it that way for 3 years with no problems. And then my wife carrying some kids around, the brakes failed one time. And so she said, I don't like the brakes on this car. So I took it down and put the disc brakes in the front, the drop spindles, and the new master cylinder and everything.
Do you remember who did the work?
I did the work.
Oh, you did it?
Shop.
Okay, great. Did you have the chrome replated, or is this the way the chrome was when you got the car?
The chrome was all quite good. The stainless steel and everything was quite good.
Yeah.
And then in 99, I sold it to a buddy of mine, temporary, kind of a trade deal.
Yeah.
And he put a lot of money. He put all new stainless trim on the outside, put the new tinted windows in.
Wow.
And did a lot of work on it.
Well,
then I traded and got the car back.
Did he do the interior or did you do the interior?
The interior was done when I got the car, done by a reputable upholstery shop there in town.
So the upholstery is 30 years old?
Yes.
That is absolutely amazing. Was it like Jerry's Top Shop or something like that? Do you remember?
No, it was a gal named Melissa that works out of her home.
Oh, it's held up beautifully. So the motor that was in it, it is still a 283?
It's a 265, the original 56 motor.
Oh.
And then we had that in 99, we had that rebuilt totally and balanced and rebuilt by Huck's Garage here in town. It was specialized in Chevys.
He does great work.
Yes.
So about how many miles ago was that motor rebuilt, you think?
About 11,000 some, I wrote it down in the literature, 11,000 some miles ago.
Well, that's amazing. Now the transmission, the automatic transmission behind it, it's a 700R, you said?
Yeah.
And did you install that or was that in there?
That was installed later because it had the old 2-speed power glide and they weren't good. But the 700R4, the ratio and everything with that original 373 probably rear end is absolutely perfect combination of gears. For the freeway or for town.
So
everything.
it gets good fuel mileage? I mean, that's a silly question,
Yeah,
isn't it?
real good mileage. Little 265 short stroke engine, and now I got the overdrive transmission that makes a wonderful combination.
So,
like your Toyota.
So have you taken this, you say you put 11,000 miles on the motor, have you taken any long trips on it?
Not any basically long, just down to California and back different times, and over to the Oregon coast a lot, and always just...
How far into California?
Oh, it's been down the Bay Area a couple of times, and been down to LA once.
Wow, that's a long drive.
And, it's a very dependable car. One time we had a new car with miles on it, and the front CV joint was going out, and we had to run down to to San Francisco, just down and back real quick to do some business.
Yeah.
And we jacked up the front car and shook that wheel and said, oh my gosh, we can't drive this to California. The wheel bearings followed the CV joints gone. So we jumped in that old Chevy and it was raining.
Yeah.
In that old Chevy, it started up, it go down and back, in a fast trip down and back, no problems at all. Every time, always dependable.
Wow. Okay, so, I mean, this is a silly thing to say, but if some guy called up from, say, Miami in Florida and said, hey, I want to fly out there and make a trip back home, you know, what do you think?
I think it would be fine. It would be really good for that motor to put some miles on it. It's had short trips. It's been...
Oh, it has air conditioning in it. The air conditioning is working or not?
I'm not sure on the air conditioner. When I was checking stuff this fall or this spring and getting it cleaned up,
yeah,
it blew and it blew cold, but not cold enough. So it needs to be charged.
It needs to be charged. It needs to be serviced or something. But the compressor and all that stuff was working.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you know anything, Dennis, on the car mechanically that because like I know that when you brought it to me at first and we were staring at it, the fuel pump, while we were looking at it, gave up. So we went ahead and put a fuel pump on it. That was kind of funny, huh?
Yeah.
And so I think that we had John Uring work on it, and he went through it and he checked absolutely everything, didn't he?
Yes, he was very pleased with the car. Liked the car.
Yeah.
And I was surprised. This car, don't ever give up. And here, I bring it here to show you and tell you how good it is. The fuel pump goes out, but it was a 30-year-old fuel pump. So
Well, if it wasn't for bad luck, we'd have no luck at all. So,
yeah.
and so the questions other people are going to ask is, if it's such a good car, why are you thinking about selling it?
My wife passed away, and I haven't been able to face the car and enjoy it now at all. And I've got several other cars, and I've just got to cut down one. And sorry, it has to be the one.
All right.
After he cleaned it all up and had me get it all detailed and everything, I almost hated to sell it.
And I've taken a whole bunch of pictures underneath it, so there's no signs of rust or impact or anything. So it's just a real straight car. There's some minor issues in the corners of the door, but if I ever come across a older Ford or Chevy that doesn't have them, then someone just painted it a week ago.
Yeah, this is a car that you can enjoy and drive around. It's not so terrible much money tied up, and it's an enjoyable car. And it's always fun. We took it to our cruise, little local cruise here, and we drove around a couple of times, and then my granddaughter had a bunch of her friends, and she was 18 years old, good driver and everything, and she took it out and picked up her kids along the way, and by the time they come back around, they had 17 people in this car. Now, I don't know how exactly you do 17 people.
Well, I must have left someone in the trunk.
The four-door was always nice because it did have and then when I go out to eat out with my age people, it's enjoyable getting in and out of. It's not hard.
It's a good family car.
Yes.
All right, Dennis. Well, Dennis, I appreciate you coming by. And I very much appreciate you giving me a chance to find a new home for it. This will be a good car to work with, and if there's anything else, I'll be sure to get in touch with you. But again, thank you for your time.